herself she was being ridiculous, a paranoid response to the guy's sometimes gruesome, often frightening tales. Pausing to dig her car keys out of her purse, she took a deep breath and tried to calm her racing heart. When the effort failed, she forced her feet to move, closing the distance between her and her vehicle. She had almost reached her destination when the van doors slid open. 3 men dressed head to foot in black, wearing black ski masks, jumped out and started running toward her. Terror struck. Mindy let out a terrified, high-pitched scream, dropped her purse, whirled, and started running. Jax's long day wasn't over yet. Before he picked up a pizza and headed home for a couple of beers, he had a meeting with a client on the other side of Dallas. A cold case he had been working where the mother of a murder victim had discovered new evidence she believed would help find her daughter's killer. The police weren't convinced, but Mrs. Donahue had hired Jax to prove it, or at least find out the truth. He checked his heavy black wristwatch. If he wanted to make his appointment on time, he needed to get on the road. Grabbing his laptop off the desk, he headed for his dark blue Dodge Ram pickup parked in the lot behind the office. His mind on the case he figured would earn him a nice fat fee and maybe help bring a killer to justice. He had just stepped out the back door when a blood-curdling scream cut through the sticky evening air. A petite young woman with long dark hair and glasses struggled with 3 masked men. Adrenaline shot into his blood. Mindy. Even as he bolted into a run, Jax registered the men's appearances. 1, tall and lean. 1, average height and weight. 1, big and beefy, thick-shouldered and muscular. He was flat out running by the time Mindy spotted him and started screaming his name. "Jax, help me! Jax!" Kicking and biting, she fought like a wild thing, but she was no match for the men. As they hauled her toward the open van doors, Jax grabbed the taller man and pulled him off her, pounded a fist into his face, and slammed another into his stomach, doubling him over. A hard right hook sent the guy careening backward, hitting the ground on his back and sliding across the asphalt. The second man, Mr. Average, stepped in and swung a punch Jax ducked. He shot out a kick, knocking the assailant into the side of the van, then heard the sound of a switchblade snapping open behind him. "Jax, watch out!" As the second guy ran for the van, Jax whirled toward the new threat, dodged the flashing blade of the big beefy man and shoved Mindy toward safety, then went back in for the kill. Rage burned through his usual calm. She worked with him. As far as he was concerned, she was under his protection. More than that, she was kind and sweet, and he cared about her far more than he should. Jax wanted to end the bastards who were trying to hurt her. "Run," he shouted. "Go back to the office and lock the door. Call 911. A knife flashed. Jax dodged the sweep of gleaming silver wielded by a big, thick-fingered, extremely capable hand and jumped back out of the way of another slashing attack as he and the beefy man crouched and circled each other. From the corner of his eye, he saw the tall, thin man back on his feet and rushing toward him. Jax looked up to see Mindy swinging her purse like a ball and chain, smashing the bag into the side of the tall man's head, sending him staggering, grunting as he landed on his hands and knees. "Bitch!" the guy screamed, shaking his head to clear it, drawing the big man's attention and providing the distraction Jax needed. He kicked the knife out of the beefy man's hand and threw a punch that sent him reeling. The second man had already climbed into the van and shoved the vehicle into gear. "Come on!" the guy shouted from where he sat behind the wheel. "Let's go!" The tall guy got up off his knees and ran to the open van doors, and the beefy, muscular man shot in behind him. Tires burned and smoke rolled up from the wheels as the vehicle screeched away. Every instinct urged Jax to jump in his pickup and follow, but concern for Mindy won out. Turning, he strode toward her. "Jax!" Mindy hurled herself into his arms. "Jax!" she breathed. Relief had him tightening his hold. "It's all right, honey. It's over." She was shaking so hard her teeth chattered. She clung to him, and he couldn't resist smoothing a hand over her pretty dark hair. "It's all right," he softly repeated. "You're safe. I'm here. Everything's okay." Mindy looked up at him. Behind her glasses, her big blue eyes glistened with tears. "You saved me." His chest clamped down. What if he hadn't walked out of the office when he did? What would have happened to her? Why had she been targeted? Was it a random abduction attempt or something more? "Come on, let's get you back inside. We need to call the police."